When it comes to online college, Southern New Hampshire University is so good, it's scary. Listen, the facts don't lie. SNHU has degree programs that fit your goals, online classes that fit your life, and real support at every step. And if that wasn't enough, they've got some of the lowest online tuition rates in the US. This is an airtight case, you guys. Visit snhu.edu/morbid to get started. That's snhu.edu/morbid. These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to, probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer. Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Your home should show off who you are. Now is the time to boldly write the newest chapter in your home story. And your main character? It's Ashley. Ashley has styles that balance timeless appeal and modern trends to bring your personal look home. Yes, these are well-crafted and affordable pieces with eye-catching design, but they're also built to stand up to real life. With features like stain-resistant performance fabric, options that are incredibly durable, easy to clean, and stain-resistant with machine-washable covers. Plus, Ashley provides fast, reliable, white glove delivery right to your room of choice, so you can style your space without any stress. Ashley was nice enough to send us a bunch of new pieces for my pod lab at my house, and when I tell you they deliver it to your room of choice, unfortunately they did have to deliver to the attic, but they could not have been nicer about it. I got, or was gifted, I should say, the Revion Lake sofa and love seat. It's in this like olive colored velvety fabric. It's so nice. I will say it is so freaking easy to clean because if you know me, you know that I have a white cat and a black cat and then a multicolored cat. The white cat loves to just roll all up on this furniture and leave his hair everywhere, but it's so easy to vacuum. I also got the Meili coffee table. So I have that, like I said, in my attic, but I'm ready to order another one for my living room because this coffee table is so beautiful. It has this like antique old money vibe to it. I absolutely love it. And then finally, I got 3 actually of the core stone end tables. They have little shelves in them so you can dress them up and, kind of like personalize them to your style. I highly, highly recommend all of the pieces that I got. And I just recommend Ashley in general. It was such an easy process to shop with them and the delivery, all of that from start to finish. It was awesome. Visit your local Ashley store or head to ashley.com to find your style. Getting paid twice a month doesn't mean money is scarce. It just feels that way. That feeling makes you do weird stuff, like putting things on a card you didn't need to. Earnin removes that feeling. With Earnin, you can access up to $150 per day of money you've already earned, plus up to $1,000 between paychecks. Standard transfers take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees, and expedited transfers start at $3.99 and cap at $5.99. 5 million people are already on it, and honestly, it's wild it didn't exist sooner. Download Earnin on the App Store or Google Play, spelled like earning money without the G. Type in Morbid under podcast when you sign up. It'll really help the show. Earnin is a financial technology company, not a bank. Access limits are based on your earnings and risk factors. Standard cash outs take 1 to 2 business days with no mandatory fees. Expedited transfers available for a fee. Tips are voluntary and don't affect the service. Available in select states. Terms and restrictions apply. Visit earnin.com for full details.
Hey weirdos, I'm Ash.
And I'm Alaina.
And this is Morbid.
It's still morbid.
I think it might always be morbid. It's a little too late for rebranding these days.
I'm fairly certain that it's going to stay. You know what? I'm going to, here today, it's always going to be morbid.
Hear ye, hear you.
Yes.
You heard it here first. I rolled out this scroll and it says, it will always be morbid, period.
Yes. I like it.
Please excuse me.
Please.
Please excuse me.
Excuse me.
Did you hear it? My voice just slowly was like...
I like how we started out with like, hear ye, in a fancy scroll, and then it's like, please, excuse me. I don't know what we're into today, but it's happening.
The old times.
The old times. We are into the old. Apparently that movie by M. Night Shyamalan, by the way,
I heard it sucked.
I heard it's like the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it doesn't look good in my opinion.
Somebody tweeted, M. Night Shyamalan got out of the pool and looked at his wrinkly hands and was like, wait a minute.
I'm
and that's where he came up with it. And I was like, maybe.
That might be it.
I don't know. Something about it. I was like, yeah. I don't know.
It didn't look very good in my opinion.
Didn't tickle my fancy.
No.
But
what's the one? Is it The Village?
I loved The Village.
Yeah, The Village. I feel like Drew and I were talking about that the other night, and he was like, you just can't beat that movie.
That movie is great.
Because even, like, I was so excited for Split.
Yeah.
And then I saw that, and it was amazing. The entire movie was fucking incredible until the very end, when it became, like, I'm just not into, like, superhero villain shit. I'm sure you can all tell. And when that happened, I was like, you lost me.
Because it connected to, like, the other ones. Like, there was, like, a whole superhero story.
Yeah.
That one I didn't mind. I liked that one. But again, if you don't like superhero stuff, I think or that kind of
And
ending.
they didn't market it like that going into it, so
No.
I thought I was going into something totally different, and
you were like,
I
no.
was for the entire fucking movie until the end, but you know, that's not what we're here for.
That's not
today at all.
This is not the M. Night Shyamalan, like,
Review podcast.
We think we can do it better podcast. Like, who are we? The guy who made The Sixth Sense. I'm like, yeah, I
can
know.
do it better.
I don't know, M. Night. I don't know if you really kill. Like, M. Night, you're great.
Yeah, you're always
great.
killing it.
I mean, I think people really, like, put pressure on you with that twist ending thing that got, like, labeled onto you.
Yeah, that is very true.
But you know what? You're killing it. You're doing all right, man.
And you know
Keep
what?
doing it.
We should watch the old movie.
I haven't watched it, so I shouldn't be judging it.
Yeah.
But I figured I'd just bring that up.
Sometimes when people tell me that movies suck, I'm like, okay, like, and I go watch it, and I'm like, no, that was an amazing movie.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
Yeah.
So
we'll figure
look
it
at
out.
us.
Maybe
we just turned right around.
maybe we can watch it for Scream.
Maybe we can. That's a good idea.
Go check
Caleb
out
is
Scream.
like, no.
If you don't listen to it.
If you don't do it. But that's not what we're talking about today. What we are talking about today is a case that I have always been, like, pretty fascinated with, because it comes along with this strange Polaroid photograph.
Oh.
That I have seen forever, and a lot of, like, true crime fans mostly will know this Polaroid photograph.
Okay.
Because it's just always floated around. And it's horrifying. It's not graphic, and it's not, like, bloody or anything. It's just horrifying when you look at it, because no one truly knows who the people in the photograph are or what the fuck is going on in this photograph.
Awesome.
We're going to get to the photograph, so don't worry.
What do I Google, though?
So we're going to talk about Tara Calico.
Writing that in.
Tara Lee Calico was born February 28th, 1969. She was 19 years old when she went missing. She left her home for a bike ride on September 20th, 1988, and this was in Belen, New Mexico. When she left, she was never seen again.
What the fuck?
Now, she had left her house at around 9:30 a.m. that day. This wasn't just a bike ride down the street for a couple miles, you know, like this wasn't like me saying I'm going on a bike ride. Tara, who was like extremely intelligent, very smart, University of New Mexico sophomore, I believe, at the time. She was a serious cyclist. She routinely, and when I say routinely, I mean every single day, rode 36 miles on her bike.
Holy shit.
And this was what she was planning to do that day. She did it every day. This was her bike ride.
Okay.
And this is the day she disappeared. She was on that 36-mile bike ride.
Oh.
This bike ride was supposed to, it usually took around 2 hours.
Okay.
Usually she went with her mother, Patty. And her name is Patty Dole. Okay. And they usually went bike riding together. It was like their thing, which I think is like the coolest thing ever, that her mom would bike ride 36 miles with her. Like,
yeah.
That's badass.
Seriously, because I love my children, but that's not happening ever.
Well, and it must have been like, I was thinking about it. I was like, wow, that's like such a nice thing to do with your child. Like,
yeah.
A bike ride is always, especially, I mean, when you first start like trust, when I first got on like my exercise bike recently, I was like, who chooses to do this?
No
like
one.
Who chooses to get on a cycle and cycle? Who chooses to do this? It's horrific. But then when you get like a little more, like you start working through those muscle pains and everything, you're like, wow, this is like very enjoyable.
Yeah.
And I just imagine like bike riding outside with your mom, just like chatting, seeing the sights, feeling the wind go by. Must be like such a nice time.
You know
like,
what's
you can
funny?
bond together.
It's back when I liked my mom and she was married to my stepdad and he wasn't like such a shit yet. We used to actually go on bike rides all the time.
It's
We'd
like
go
a
to the
very
canal.
nice thing. Yeah, I remember that.
It was like a really fun thing to do, I have to be honest.
See, it's a positive memory.
Yeah.
It's like a nice thing to do. Now, they'd been doing this for a while together, but her mom had actually stopped doing it in recent weeks because there was one ride where someone in a vehicle had followed them. And it was for a little too long and it freaked her mom out. Mm-hmm. And she wanted Tara to stop, but Tara was like, no, I'm going to keep bike riding. Okay. So she had tried to convince her, like, you know, can you like carry mace? Can you like do something? She was like, no, it's fine. And she was like, okay, well, please just stay in well-lit areas and go during the day and stay on the main path. And like,
and I don't know if you already said this because I was looking at the photograph. Did she ride the same route every single day?
She did.
Okay.
And she was 19 at the time. So it's not like there was much her mom couldn't be like, you're not allowed. Like she's like, I'm just getting on my bike. But like I said, Tara was a University of New Mexico student. She was studying psychology. She has one sister, Michelle Dole, and a brother, Chris. Her family has done, and she has a stepfather named John. Her family has done an amazing job keeping this case like fresh in the eyes and the minds of everyone who will listen. I'm definitely going to say more about her family, so don't worry. Like, stay tuned for that. But Tara herself was described as very intelligent, really funny, really outgoing, just like really enjoyable to be around. She would always help people out. She was never like, if somebody was being picked on, she was the one that was going to go against the crowd and take care of that person.
I love that.
And she was also said to be like a huge bookworm. She also loved physical activity, obviously. She biked. She was a runner. She kept herself in really healthy shape.
I mean, to bike that much per day, I can only imagine.
And she loved it.
Yeah.
She just loved it. And she was also very organized and very self-sufficient. That's what a lot of people said. Her stepfather, John, said that even as a child, she was just very independent and like wanted to do everything herself.
Yeah.
And he said like she was always like a little firecracker. And that was her stepfather, but like he really raised her.
Yeah.
She was a list maker and she liked to keep a daily schedule. And when she went missing, she was actually working at a bank and was hoping to eventually become a psychiatrist someday after working her way through school.
Okay.
And she was a huge list maker. And that day she had actually like written out a schedule, like she would do that during the day, like what she needed to do. Mm-hmm. So because her mother wasn't going that day, she asked her mom if she could use her bike, her mother's bike, because Tara's bike had something wrong with it. It was getting fixed. I think it had like a flat tire and something had bent on it. Mm-hmm. So her mother allowed her to use her own neon pink Huffy mountain bike.
I love it.
It's like, this is such like an 80s bike. I love it. It had the like bright yellow cables and like accents on it.
Yes. If I were to have a bike, that would be it.
And with her, she brought a bright yellow Sony Walkman with a cassette tape of the band Boston.
iconic.
Yeah, so it's just awesome. Now, according to the FBI, she was wearing a white T-shirt with First National Bank of Bellin on it, white shorts with green stripes, white ankle socks, and white and turquoise Avia tennis shoes. She was also wearing a gold butterfly ring with a little diamond in it, and a gold amethyst ring, and half-inch gold hoop earrings.
Okay.
Just so you know exactly what she was wearing, it can be useful. Now, the last time she was seen that day, she left for her bike ride. The last time any witnesses saw her was 11:45 a.m. riding along Highway 47 in Valencia County.
/Morbid.
Now, this is on her route, and she was actually saying that she was thinking she was going to be done around noon. Mm-hmm. So this is right on target. And one of the things that had happened to her bike was, like I said,
The Sherwin-Williams summer sale is here. Get 30% off select paints and stains or 35% off their newest product, Emerald Symmetry, July 17th through the 27th. Whether you're looking to refresh your interior or your exterior, they've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders. Every good detective needs a partner to support them on important cases. Think of a State Farm agent like your sidekick, there to help you along the way in your search for coverage. State Farm can help you choose the coverage you need, whether it's for your home, car, boat, or even RV. With so many options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you so you can get back to solving all of life's bigger cases. Go to statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to connect with a local agent and get a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
It got a flat tire. So she had jokingly said to her mother, if she didn't see her by noon, she should come looking for her because she might have another flat tire.
Okay.
Again, her mother, Patty, saw this as a joke because she also had plans to meet her boyfriend at 12:30 that day to play a tennis match. So she was like, she's definitely going to be back by noon. Tara is that kind of person.
Timely.
She's very timely, very scheduled. I have an appointment at 12:30 with my boyfriend to play tennis. I'm going to be home at noon to change and be there on time.
Right.
So she had even laid out her tennis gear and outfit in anticipation for it, and had also organized her school stuff like her books and homework because she had a class at 4 p.m.
Jesus, I strive to be as organized as her.
Yeah, she was on that shit. Now noon rolls around and nothing's happening. So she's like, okay, maybe she did get a flat tire, or maybe, so she takes off to go look for her. So Patty goes along the route and doesn't see her. And she's starting to panic. She goes down the route and up the route. And she's like, she
wouldn't be anywhere else.
She's nowhere. So then she's like, okay, maybe I just missed her. Maybe she's back home and I just missed her. So she goes back home. And when she gets back home, Tara isn't there either. So this is bad. This is really bad immediately because like we now know, Tara is not one to fuck around with time.
Or anything
she's not,
like that.
And she's just not going to tell you she's going to be there and not be there. Her mom and her were close. She had all her stuff laid out for the rest of the day. So this is not a good thing at all. So the problem here was she was like, okay, I'm trying to think of anything that can make this makes sense, but if she's not on the route she took and she's not home, there's literally nowhere else. The only answer to this is bad.
Yeah, because she doesn't stray from her routine ever.
Exactly. So then her and her husband John were like, okay, maybe she got hurt. Mm-hmm. Maybe she got hurt. Maybe she's at a hospital. Mm-hmm. Maybe somebody picked her up. She went to the hospital. So they call local hospitals first to see if they happened, an accident happened, something. Nothing came of it. She wasn't in any of them. So they immediately called the Valencia County Sheriff's Department and filed a missing persons report right away. Now, the search was extensive immediately. They went to work on this. Now, according to the Albuquerque Journal, within 5 hours of Tara being reported missing, her missing person status was entered into the National Crime Information Center, and a note was added saying that foul play was something they were considering already.
Okay.
Because, of course, the first thing they're going to look at is, one, she's an adult.
Yep.
But they're also going to look at, could she have taken off? Is this something she's just going to take off? No. There's just no. There's absolutely, there's no reason. There was no conflicts. There was no issues in the family. We've said it a million times. She laid out her stuff for the rest of the day. Just no. So, and they all know that. So that's now the next thing they're thinking of is she's not in the hospital. She's not on that route. Something bad happened here. So her younger sister, Michelle, said she remembers that day really well. She said, quote, "I was 15, a sophomore in high school. I remember one of my sister's best friends and her boyfriend came to get me from school. They picked me up, and when we got home, there was a bunch of cops." And she said they basically told her what had happened, that Tara had left for her normal bike ride, and she had not come back at the scheduled time. She was told her mother had searched for her and that they couldn't find her. And she said that's when she started really getting nervous. And now she was told that people, like volunteers, are actively searching for her sister, which I can't even imagine how horrifying that must have been. Like, this isn't just she didn't come home. The police are involved now and actively searching for her.
Right.
Like, you must feel so out of control.
And just like helpless.
Yeah. So she said, quote, "I didn't understand what was going on. I just assumed that she maybe had gone a different way and that we were going to find her. I didn't think that she was missing until later on that evening when I started to realize how serious it was. But I just kept thinking that she was going to come back."
Right. Because, like, have you ever, like, gotten separated from a parent in a store or something like that? And
oh my God, yes.
Your first thought is like, oh my God, like, I'm never going to find them. But
like,
you're like,
I'm going to be lost here forever.
No, let's be real. Like, let's be rational. And you're like, you always end up finding them. It's like, that's probably how you feel in this situation, I would assume.
And it's always that kind of thought process that we all have as humans.
It's never happened to us.
It can't happen to me.
Right.
This isn't happening to my family. No, she's going to come back in the door and we're all going to laugh about this and we're going to be like, you're never going bike riding again. Like,
yes.
It's going to be a big joke. Like, no, we are not one of those families that somebody goes missing.
Right.
That's just not something that happens. And I'm sure every single person who has ever gone through anything like this, that has to be one of the thoughts.
Absolutely.
No one's ever prepared for this.
Because
ever.
you also obviously don't want to be that.
Of course
family
not.
That, like, lost somebody.
You never want to think that they're just not coming back.
You don't want to be in that position.
They got on a bike, said goodbye, love you, and that's it.
Right.
You never see them again.
Like, that's not how anything is supposed to go.
And also, this is the middle of the day.
In the morning, really.
This is like
mid-afternoon morning.
Yeah, middle of the day on a busy road that's pretty out in the open.
Yeah.
It's like desert.
Right.
So it's like, what the hell
like you
happened?
said, she was like along the highway. Like,
yeah, it's wild. So Patty and John, her parents, joined in the search themselves, which included local and state police, volunteers like civilian volunteers, and other investigative outlets from all around the area. They were on foot, they had helicopters, they were on horseback, they were going all out. Nothing's coming up.
Wow.
But then, that same day, searchers did come across something. They stumbled upon that Boston cassette tape.
Oh, no.
On the road on the road shoulder in the dirt, only about 3 miles from her home.
Oh, no.
Now, Patty looked at it and she immediately was like, that's Tara's. That's what was in her cassette. And later during that same search, about 19 miles east on the same route that she was taking, which was near the John F. Kennedy campground, there was a broken piece of her Sony Walkman.
Oh, no.
It was like the little plastic window where you can like see the tape inside. That's what was in there. So while they were collecting these items, they noticed that there's tracks nearby and they're clearly bicycle tires. Mm-hmm. Now, that would be like, oh, okay, she's here. But it kind of appeared that the bike had gone off the road a little bit and that there appeared to be some kind of like struggle or like kerfluffle that happened. Like it looked like it either looked like she had spun out off the road or that she was like shoved, like the bike was shoved off the road.
Right. Like maybe even like hit.
And there was also car tire marks nearby. So they were like, okay. So Patty said she initially thought those items could have been left intentionally by her daughter to leave a breadcrumb trail for anybody who was investigating. And how smart Tara was, that's not out of the realm of possibility.
I know, that would have been like, that's always so smart when anybody's able to do that. Of course.
And to have the
wherewithal,
the presence of mind in that kind of situation to even think of that, I'm always so impressed by people's minds who can do that.
In the most terrifying situation you could ever possibly be in.
Exactly. And then, of course, there's also obviously the possibility that in a struggle, like a violent struggle, these were fallen to the ground.
Right.
It's like, you know, if
We
she was
just don't
still
know.
holding the Walkman and part of it fell. It is a little strange to me that only pieces, like a piece of the Walkman.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if the Walkman fell and broke,
It would
where's
have
the
broken
rest
in
of it?
one spot. Yeah.
And like, where's the rest of it?
Right.
It just doesn't, but I don't know. Like, it's very strange. So now they have all these items and they start talking to people in the area. Witnesses are suddenly coming forward with and they said that, you know what, we did see her. We saw her on her route. And they're saying that she, you know, they saw her at the times that she was like, she wasn't off the route. She wasn't out of the time frame. But 7 witnesses said that they saw her that day. And these are the ones who last saw her around 11:45 a.m. Like some of them had seen her along the route and the last one saw her at 11:45. Out of these 7 witnesses, 5 of them said they saw something strange.
Oh.
So 5 witnesses said they saw an older pickup truck following her for a while along her route.
Oh, I hate that.
This pickup truck had a camper shell, like one of the, I'm sure you can like picture it. It's like those old timey looking ones.
Yeah.
It almost looks like an Oregon Trail.
I
like
was
carriage.
just thinking
You
that.
know, it always reminds me of that. And this pickup truck, so it had the camper shell. It was also light colored, possibly tan or dirty white kind of thing. And was possibly a Ford pickup truck.
Okay.
Now, and that's all they could say. They just saw it following her. They thought it was weird. They thought it was a little too close to her.
Yeah.
They just didn't like it. Now, the next day, there was some bad weather, so things kind of got, which bad weather can also
Ruin
really
everything.
ruin everything for everybody. They kept searching, though. They kept searching for weeks and weeks. They are not finding Tara. They are not finding any more clues. And they're not finding the bike,
Which is
strange.
scary.
Volunteers came out in the hundreds to search tirelessly, and her family never stopped for even a moment. So for 9 months, nothing.
I can't even imagine what you go through as like a mother or a sister or any kind of family member or friend
For 9
in 9
months.
months. Like, I can't imagine.
No, I literally can't even fathom it.
And I don't know, like this just sticks out to me. Like that's the time it takes to create a life.
It is like very symbolic
Symbolic.
and like really just like a fucked up thing. And it's, and I say this every time. Everybody's probably like, shut the hell up, Alaina, we get it.
Never.
But I'm like, how, do you go to sleep? What do you do?
I know. You
What do
like
you do
it's so
during the
true. You
nights?
must just it's one of those things where you probably just like nod off
Your
while
body
you're
just shuts down, I think.
sitting there, yeah,
Yeah.
and you just wake up in hell again.
Because that's all I keep thinking. Because like I think everybody can agree that like at nighttime a lot of times is when you like think about things.
Oh
or
yeah, absolutely.
things come into your mind that normally don't during the day because you're so
Sure.
busy during the day usually, and like things are going on that can distract you or take up your time. But at night, you're always sitting there like thinking of these deep things or like going over something stupid you said in like 7th grade.
I was literally just going to say
like,
something you said
you
22
know?
years ago that you're still embarrassed
Yeah.
about.
And it's like, so in this situation, at night to me would be the time when these horrific things and
Your mind
thoughts
would just race.
and images would just be flooding my brain.
I can't
I would be
imagine.
an absolute shell of a human being. So whenever I see these, like, but like when you find out like her parents were badasses, like her family just never stopped. And it's like, kudos to them. I always get like the victims' families who can like get up and move in the morning and like keep going. I'm like, damn, like you are some strong,
Because how?
you are
How?
some strong stock.
You're just
'Cause-
motivated by like unconditional love.
yeah, that you just need to find your baby,
Yeah.
your loved one, whatever it is, whatever it may be. Like, oh, it just like 9 months.
That's a very
9
long
months
time.
is brutal for nothing. And I mean, it turns into a lot longer than that, unfortunately. But for 9 months, like you're probably right after it happens thinking, okay, something's going to happen. We're going
Yeah,
to
of
find
course.
something. We're going to get something. And then it must be so hard as each passing month goes. But it was just a cold trail that was leading nowhere. And they're just left to wonder, you know, what happened? What could have happened? And they're trying everything they can to drum up leads. I mean, they went in front of cameras. They did everything they could. Then, on July 15th, 1989, so a little less than a year, something crazy and weird happened. John Dole, which is Tara's stepfather, got a phone call. And it was from a family friend who said they had something kind of weird to tell him. And they said that they had been watching a popular tabloid TV show at the time called A Current Affair. And I think it was probably like almost like America's Most Wanted kind of thing, or like something like that.
Sure.
During a recent episode, they had done a story about a Polaroid photo found that was very concerning. And he said, it might be of interest to you. And John's like, why? Like, what are you talking about? Guide. Now, the Polaroid was found in Port St. Joe, Florida at a convenience store. Remember, we're in New Mexico.
Sure.
A woman had been walking into the store and just noticed a guy sitting in a white van. And she only noticed it because white vans, I think, are creepy and people usually notice them.
I was literally going to say.
Yeah. Like, you always notice a white van when they're out and about.
A gazillion%.
It could be like a painter and you're still like, whoa,
like,
white
what are
van,
you up to,
weird.
buddy?
Yeah, it's just, I'm sorry if you drive a white van. That's just like inherent.
Weird choice, but okay.
Weird choice, but all right.
Just kidding.
But she just kept going with her day and she went into the store.
Okay.
When she came out of the store, she saw the van was gone. But when she looked down at the spot where the van was, she sees a Polaroid on the ground in the parking lot. Mm-hmm. The photo was really scary. It was showing a young woman and a young boy lying side by side in what appears to be a white van. They are both seemingly bound with their hands behind their backs and have duct tape over their mouths.
It's terrifying.
They both look into the camera with the most tired and defeated eyes. It's horrifying when you look at it. And in my notes, I wrote, have Ash look at it.
I looked at it before you even started, and I'm terrified. And
like, you can describe what you see. Like, they get what you're seeing here.
A girl that looks a lot like Tara is in the front, and she looks almost like angry and tired.
Like, she looks like, fuck you.
Yeah, like she looks pissed.
Yeah.
And she has her arms behind her back and she's laying on a pillow. And then I can't even look at this little boy for too long because I'm going to lose my mind.
Very young.
He's terrified. Yeah. Absolutely terrified.
He looks
and, like,
7 or 8
is
years
clearly
old.
like crying. And it just wants whatever's happening to be over.
Yeah. It's really, really fucked up and scary. And I've seen this photo for years and years. Never knew the full story behind it because I think I just didn't want to. I was too scared to.
Yeah.
But it's really... And, you look at it, and there's several things you can look at here. And there's several theories that have been floated around. And obviously, we're going to talk about the one that's linked to Tara. But there's also a theory that, was this faked? Is this fake? Because when you look at it...
Okay, let's be honest. I feel like when we were all like really first starting our periods, we all had that moment where we bled through our jeans or something like that. And it always happened at school or at a sleepover somewhere really embarrassing. Periods always come with enough surprises, right? So nobody wants a pad that stinks. And honestly, women have been expected to just deal with that for way too long. That's why Kotex is changing the game with a completely redesigned lineup of pads and liners like Kotex BioCare. Kotex BioCare is the first and only pad with the pH proactive system that helps optimize the pad's pH. And the pad helps combat odor and irritants from period blood. Listen, we take care of our faces with 12-step routines, but we're just going to ignore our downstairs mix-up? Absolutely not. Kotex BioCare gets it, and I love that. Check out Kotex.com for more details on the new launch of Kotex BioCare, available in regular, heavy, overnight, and daily liners. Every flow covered. Now available at retailers nationwide.
Here's a quick podcast for all you true crime fans. The case of the missing Reeses. It was me at the store with my mouth. Motive? They're Reeses. What was I going to do? Stop myself? Tune in next time to see if I do it again. Spoiler, I will. Wow, that had everything. Reeses, suspense, Reeses.
Their arms are behind their backs, but you don't see any ligatures.
Right.
You don't see anything like that. And their arms, and a lot of people have said this, I've seen in a ton of articles and stuff, they don't look like they're bound tightly behind their backs. Because if you look at how, like, I'm just going to act this out for Ash. I'm sorry, none of you are seeing it. If my arms are bound behind their back.
Yeah, you only
my
see the tops
shoulders
of
are
your
very,
arms.
like,
moved back.
Theirs are very relaxed, but again, it could be that they are loosely bound, or it could be that they are bound in a different way, or they're laying in a different way. But there is this question of like, because like, spoiler alert, we have no fucking clue who these kids are.
Right.
If they were abducted kids, where's anybody coming forward to say that those are their kids?
Are you going to get into the book?
Yes.
Next okay.
We are. So everybody, if you want to go look at that photo, you can find it by typing into Google, like Tara Calico Polaroid.
Yeah.
So when this was found, obviously this woman called the police immediately because this is a very distressing photo to find in a fucking parking lot after a white van, which looks like a white van in this photo.
You can see a little bit of would be the side door
and like the
open.
paneling inside.
Yep.
That would be terrifying. So she calls the police. They're just trying to figure out who these literal kidnapping victims are at this point.
Right.
Because the girl in the photo looks like she's in her maybe mid to late teens.
Yeah.
And
she doesn't look, she looks a lot like Tara, but also not like Tara.
Well, and it's hard because in the photo, her eyes look exhausted.
Yeah,
she looks very defeated.
tired.
And it's hard to look at Tara and pictures
Like
of her
vibrant
where
Tara.
she's vibrant and full of life and kind of try to compare her eyes.
But
with
the
that.
eyebrows are literally
Everything
her
is,
eyebrows.
it looks pretty, it's a lot. So the woman who found the photo said the man in the white van she saw before finding this photo in the parking lot was maybe in his 30s and had a dark mustache. But that's really all she could say about him. Because again, she just noticed him because he was in a white van. She wasn't taking note of who he was.
Right.
Because at that point, nothing weird was happening. So she could also say that the van she saw was a white Toyota cargo van without windows. Mm-hmm. Now, they have nothing else. They try to search for this man in this van. They set up roadblocks because this might be 2 kidnapping victims.
Right.
And at this point, they're thinking, likely, these are 2 trafficking victims. If that's the case, they are the perfect, subset of people. They are a young woman and a child.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 people who get trafficked the most. So they're doing roadblocks. They're asking people for possible witnesses. Nothing. They don't find any of this.
That's so crazy. Not one person recognized the people in these photos.
Yes, and Port St. Joe was only consisting of about 10,000 residents at this point. So when you think that, you'd think they could maybe nab them at that point.
You would think, yeah.
So this is when they released the photo to all these different media outlets. They're just trying to get people to tell them who the hell these kids are in these photos. It was terrifying to this community.
I mean, yeah.
So A Current Affair, the tabloid TV show, picked up the story and was circulating the photo, trying to get people to ID these kids. So why was John's friend telling him about this?
Because the girl looks
well,
like
he
Tara.
said he thought that woman in the photo looked a lot like Tara. And he was like, I was scared to tell you. I just feel like you need to look at this. It sucks. Like, this is a really hard photo to look at if this is her.
But we have to
maybe
look
this
at
is
it.
a lead. Now, side note, the young boy in the photo, when this aired, another family thought he resembled their missing child.
Oh.
Michael Henley, who was 9 years old when he went missing in the Zuni Mountains of New Mexico. He was hunting with his dad. They were on a camping trip in April 1988.
Okay.
It turned out, though, that Michael was later found dead in June 1990, only a few miles from his family's campsite. The autopsy revealed he had died of exposure.
Oh, God.
So
it does
he had
look
just
a
been
lot
lost.
like him.
It looks a lot like him.
Oh, that's terrible.
But he had just been lost in the woods and died of dehydration and exposure.
baby.
So that was not him in the photo. But it
Okay.
goes to show you that his mother did think that looked like her child. It's sometimes... I mean, obviously, you do not wish to see your child in that
But
situation.
you get so
But when you
desperate.
think they're dead, it can be some kind of
Mind
to be like
trickery.
they're alive. Maybe this is something. So John and Patty and Michael's parents, because John and Patty looked at it, and Patty was like, that's her.
Okay.
So John and Patty and Michael's parents at this moment, because they didn't know at this moment it wasn't Michael, they were Michael Sr. and Marty Henley, all went to Florida to meet with detectives and find out more about this, since they all agreed that their children may be the ones in the photo. The FBI took over the case, and they were ready to do a full analysis on this photo. Now, Patty at this moment says this is 100% Tara in this photo.
Okay.
Michael's parents were not as sure.
Okay.
They were not totally 100%.
Well, and he's a little bit in the background. There is a slight
little
shadow.
hard.
So.
Yeah. The ear and the eyes are the same on Tara. The nose, the hair has a very specific cowlick
Yep.
that she has in the front. And she said later, and this is very interesting, Patty said, quote, "For one thing, Tara was in a bad car accident. In the photo, there's a scar on the woman's leg that is identical to the scar she received in the car accident."
Oh, wow.
That to me is pretty big. It's like a discoloration on the bottom or the top of her calf, I believe, or the middle of her calf.
Okay.
Now, another thing that struck out as Tara with her mom was that book seen in that photo.
Yeah.
The book is right next to the girl in the photo. Mm-hmm. And it's a copy of My Sweet Audrina by V.C. Andrews. You might know V.C. Andrews from Flowers in the Attic. Mm-hmm. So V.C. Andrews was Tara's favorite author.
Oh, wow.
Now, there was
She's a great author.
And, I mean, to play devil's advocate in this scenario, she was big at this time.
Yeah, she was huge.
So it was probably a lot of teenage girls' favorite author, but
still
weird. And also, why is that book there? If these are abducted kids, why is that teenage girl book there?
It is,
you know, like right next to her when she can't touch it or like grab it. I don't know. It didn't. I was like, I don't know. But what's weird too is that apparently there's a phone number on the spine of the book, but most of the numbers are not legible. According to the Charlie Project, it could be 300 possible phone numbers.
Jesus.
The FBI did a full analysis on the photo, and it was inconclusive.
It's so blurry in all the pictures that I'm looking at.
They actually went as far as sending the photo to be analyzed by Scotland Yard.
Wow.
They analyzed it and concluded that the woman was definitely Tara Calico.
Oh, my.
But then the Los Alamos National Laboratory analyzed it as well and said they didn't think it was Tara.
Oh, fuck.
I feel so bad for her parents.
I can't imagine to hear, yup, definitely. And
for
then to hear,
sure.
no fucking way.
And to hear from Scotland Yard that they're like, yup. And then another one is like, nope. You just get nothing in between.
It does look a lot like her.
It does. And the scar is very interesting to me. So they also spoke with Polaroid, like directly.
Okay.
And they confirmed that the type of, because remember, she had gone missing a year earlier.
Right.
So they're thinking, okay, when was this taken?
Right.
Was this taken a year ago or was it taken now? Well, they confirmed with Polaroid that the type of film used for this photograph was not made until May 1989.
Okay.
So that was only a few months ago.
Right.
So it had to have been taken after that date. That's interesting because it would mean Tara was taken in September and this photo wasn't taken until the following May.
So she had been kept alive.
Of course, this makes it a little less believable that it's her because the two appear healthy. They appear distressed, but healthy.
Yeah.
They're not like skin and bones.
Right.
They don't seem like, exhausted, but healthy. They appear tan, like their skin is tanned. Not like they've been held captive like underground or in a basement or somewhere for months. But who can really say? Maybe their captors fed them well and kept them healthy. Like while their shit has
look
happened.
at like J.C. Lee Dugard and
exactly
other cases that are similar.
So there's
Elizabeth Smart,
Exactly. So it's like you can absolutely look at it and say, this might be fake because they don't look like they're being held for that much. It's like, you can 100% look at it the other way and say, maybe they were fed every day and maybe they were taken out like you said.
Right.
There's no like
either
way to look at it. It's so hard. But, her mother still believed 100% that it was her. Mm-hmm. And I feel like mothers know their kids. Mm-hmm. Like and in this scenario specifically, they were so close.
Yeah, they were best friends.
They went on 36-mile bike rides together. Like that mama knows that face.
And the scar.
And the scar
is really compelling.
And then like when you put the book with the scar, with the everything else,
right.
It's a lot of coincidences if that's the case. So nothing is happening though. They're just kind of, they don't know what this photo is. They don't know who took it. They don't know where it was taken. That's all they have. And so in 1991, John and Patty actually became deputized.
What?
They trained to become auxiliary Valencia County Sheriff's deputies.
Wow.
Badass. Yeah, they did it so they could like get more involved in this. And John said, quote, "We were both deputized after Tara's disappearance and were able to investigate the case. It allows us to do two things, to carry weapons and also to be able to contact any other law enforcement agency on behalf of the Sheriff's Department regarding the case."
Boom.
We were both commissioned as auxiliary auxiliary deputies. So this was huge. They went through all of that, and it is not an easy thing to do. It's not like you like take a written exam and that's it.
And then to go through that while you're experiencing the
Grieving.
loss of your daughter, potentially.
That's the thing. So they went through all of that just to be able to take like a more hands-on, like boots on the ground approach. It's honestly, that's like so impressive to me.
Insane.
Like, what badasses.
Seriously.
What fucking parents. Like,
Seriously.
That's some parent shit.
It is.
It was really hard though, because nothing came from any of the investigations that were happening. It was just like little breadcrumbs that
Right,
would just
dead ends.
dissolve. And her mother, Patty, especially, was always convinced that she was alive and they were going to find her. And even when she was starting to, she always really was convinced she was alive, but she always said, even if she's not, I just want to bring her home.
Of course.
I just have to give her a funeral.
You deserve that
Of course.
as a family.
So since they were working so closely with the police, they were actually being sent photos of unidentified bodies
Oh, God.
to see if that was Tara. And she would look at every single one.
That
And
will
these were
change you.
horrible crime scene photos for Patty to look at. She had to know. But what a toll that must have taken on her.
I can't even.
No one is prepared to look at that, even when it's, you know, a victim you don't know.
Right.
Like somebody you have no idea who they are. But for her to have to mentally and emotionally prepare each time for the possibility that she's going to open that photo and see her murdered child, it must have been so heavy and so horrific. I can't even bring my brain to comprehend it.
To anticipate that every time.
Every time. Your
You,
body
like,
must go
open it,
through like a catastrophic reaction every time you're about to open that thing. And then it's just a mixture of relief that you're not seeing your murdered child, but also devastation that this is not the one.
And then probably like guilt for
And then
feeling
guilt for
relieved.
wanting-
That's the most traumatic thing I've ever heard
the
of.
havoc that must have wreaked on her
Nervous system.
body and soul, I can't even. And for her to like put herself through that every time, like just for her daughter, like what a fucking mom. Like that's some shit. And Tara's brother Chris said, quote, "The police would send photos of every possibility, including photos of bodies, dismembered bodies, and every time Mom got an envelope with the newest pictures, she had to look at them. She couldn't not, but it tore her up every time."
Of course it did.
And he told that to People, like People magazine, not just People. But in 2003, John and Patty actually moved to Florida. Because that's where the last thing was happening. That's where they were, you know, they wanted to get away from New Mexico. They wanted to get away from where it happened. But they kept a bedroom for Tara and put her Christmas gifts, her birthday gifts every year in there, just waiting for her return.
God.
They just had it completely set up for her, like she's going to come back and all this will be here
You
for
have
her.
to hold out hope though, because
Yeah.
then what do you have?
If you don't have hope, what do you have? Yeah. And a friend told People magazine that about Patty, quote, "She would see a young girl on a bicycle and would point and write down Tara," because she went through several strokes. And at one point she could only like communicate through writing. And she would write down Tara, and her friend said, quote, "And John would tell her, no, that's not Tara." And he would have to say it every time.
Oh my God.
And they were in Florida, and he was like, she's not here. Like,
Right.
that's, you know. And even in her retirement home in Florida, when she got through these like series of strokes, and again, far away from where it initially happened, she would stare out the window waiting for Tara to come up on her bike.
I can't.
And they said, quote, and John said, quote, "I'd have to explain to her that it wasn't Tara. This person was too old or too young." And he said this to the Albuquerque Journal in 2006. Patty passed away in 2006 from a series of strokes. And he said, quote, "Patty was looking for Tara right to the end."
Of course she was.
And she, like I said, she died in 2006 of complications from multiple strokes. She was brokenhearted.
Absolutely.
I mean,
to say the least.
Like,
There's not even words to describe.
Yeah.
I can't. Like,
and
how
like we
she
said, the
was feeling.
damage that she was having to inflict on herself every time that she was opening these photos, all of the disappointment and the grief. I can't imagine.
No.
Like physically, that toll it's going to take on you. But her sister, Tara's sister, Michelle,
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. The best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat. Comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. Quince makes it easy to create a summer wardrobe that you'll love, with elevated essentials made from premium materials like European linen, organic cotton, and washable silk, without the traditional retail markup. I love that! Quince's 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops are the pieces that you absolutely will reach for all summer long. I absolutely love their linen. I have so many pairs of their linen pants, which you can dress up or you can dress down in the summer. Like, say you're going to a nice dinner, you can pair it with like a silk shirt, a really cute necklace, some good, makeup and an updo. Or if you're just looking for a more casual look, you can do the linen pants with like a loose button-up shirt and you still look really chic, kind of like, I don't know, Diane Keaton vibes, I kind of think. Also, it's not just apparel. Quince also offers elevated essentials for your home, from bedding and bath to kitchen essentials and furniture. They have it all, honey. I am a big lover of Quince, and I really do think you will be too. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/morbid for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/morbid for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/morbid.
Like really took the lead after Patty passed away and was like, I'm going to keep this case going for my mom and for Tara. And she's a badass. So the Valencia County Sheriff at the time was Rene Rivera. And this is where things get really interesting. Because again, this case just went cold.
Nothing was happening.
Nothing's happening.
Dead end.
Patty passed away, not knowing what happened to her daughter.
That's so terrible. Nobody deserves that.
So Sheriff Rene Rivera, he's starting to work on the case, or he said that he had been working on the case since he's been in the department in '89. He said he's always been interested in this case, and he does not believe the photo is of Tara.
Okay.
He said, quote, I don't think it's her. It does resemble her quite a bit, but I don't think it's her. And if the picture is of her, it could have been taken here and then transported somewhere else. Mm-hmm. So he followed up on every lead. He was digging up multiple locations where they thought Tara's body might be buried. But then in 2008, he comes on record and says he knows what happened. Mm-hmm. He says he knows what happened to Tara that day, and he knows who did it.
Okay.
He goes on record. But he says there's not enough solid evidence to put anyone away yet. And that's it. I'm not going to say anything else.
Who allowed him to do that?
This family. He came forward and said, I know who did it and I know what happened, but I can't say anything.
Why would you even go as far as saying that then?
Exactly. So he then said, so when pushed, he said he knows it was at the time 2 teenage boys at the time who he has names for, but he won't give them. And he said witnesses saw them driving that older model truck and that they were following her on her route and grabbing at her through the window.
Holy fuck, that's the most terrifying thing to even picture.
He said, quote, the information I have is that the truck accidentally ended up hitting her. I believe the truck bumped her bike, at which time she fell to the side of the road. From there, the individuals took her. And he says they panicked at one point and killed her. Okay. And he also says Tara knew them, he believes.
Okay.
So what? Like,
How is
first
there
of
not
all,
enough evidence?
this makes sense.
Yeah, of
this
course.
story 100% makes like that. All that scuffle-uffle on the side of the road with like the tire marks and all that. It makes sense that she was bumped off the road.
Yep.
Then they pulled on and took her.
Because immediately when you said that there was that, like, bike tires, car tires, and all that, I was like, oh, I wonder if somebody bumped her off of the road.
Exactly. And going back to me saying, okay, but if she dropped that Walkman, where's the rest of the Walkman? Well, like I said, the only thing found was a little viewing window that you can see the tape through. Maybe they didn't see that. Maybe it dropped. They picked up all the pieces.
And
they didn't
left
see
that
that
tiny
clear little thing that was on the ground in their panic.
Right.
And so they left that by accident.
Right.
So it's like, that makes sense. So then he says, quote, "We do have a case put together, but we want to make sure that the case is a concrete case to where we'll be able to effectively do our jobs. We're just waiting to get a little more evidence. Her bicycle, her clothing, or Tara herself."
So where are you going to get that?
So he also said 2 other people besides these 2 teenagers that were in the car were involved, and they likely know where she was buried.
Okay, so
and
let's
we're probably
have them
involved
tell
with it.
us.
And he said, quote, "If Tara was killed, I would say her body is still within the county. I think that she's still in the same general area that she was taken."
So let's dig up everything.
Now, he's saying he knows this all. He knows the men responsible, but after announcing this, he says even though it's he has a case for these assholes, he's just not going to move forward because he wants more information. So John, Tara's father, was not psyched about this.
Obviously.
He was like, how the fuck do you come forward saying that and not give us anything?
like, how dare you, really?
Literally, how dare you? Like, who do you think you are? That's insane. And he said, quote, "I thought it was silly when I heard it. There's such a thing as circumstantial evidence, and I know in other places they've gotten a conviction on strong circumstantial evidence.
Right.
It should have never been said unless they, the sheriff's department, are willing to make an arrest and go forward with it." Mm-hmm. That's fucked.
Because why would you give them that hope and then be like,
Why
yeah,
would
but
you-
there's nothing we can do about it?
Why would you ever say that?
These people have been looking to, like, seek justice there for this entire time.
Well, I have a little snippet for why I think maybe he's not saying the names, and we're gonna get to it. Because when I first read it, I was like, "What the fuck? Like, no, this doesn't make any
Right.
sense." And then you go further into it, and you're like, "Oh,
Does he have a connection
there
to
might
these
be
teenagers?
There might be some things going on that
In
are
the
covered
department.
up, and things might be there might be people involved that are retired sheriff's sons. I don't know, maybe something like that." So the very next year, in 2009. A couple of other photographs.
I was going to ask
appear.
about those because I saw
Yeah.
them on Google.
So they appear there's a couple that I'm like, that I didn't even want to mention because they don't think they have any real connection, but they're brought up a lot with this case. So there are 2 that were found, that one of them is a very blurry photo of a woman who has her mouth duct taped.
Yeah.
It looks like the fabric that she's lying on is blue striped fabric, which is
does.
what the other Polaroid, the 2 kids are lying on blue striped fabric. It kind of looks like it could be the same woman. I don't think it does.
Okay.
It's really blurry, and I think everybody who's looked at it is kind of like,
Yeah, it's
I guess
blurry and it's like
maybe.
really close up. It's just,
Yeah.
it's too distorted to tell.
And then there's another one that you might come across if you Google this case, that is a woman and a man on a train.
That doesn't look anything
And he's like
her.
holding her, and she's like tied up with gauze, and like it looks weird and fake. They believe that's just a joke photo.
Yeah, that's
They don't think
not
that's
funny.
anything. But there were other photographs that appeared, and it was in the mail in St. Joe, Florida, and they caused quite a stir. So David Barnes, the chief of police there, received one of these photos, and it was just a photo of a boy, and this boy had black marker scribbled over the photo over his mouth to look like duct tape. Mm-hmm. So then they were like, and it was a photo of the boy like a school photo. Uh-huh. So it's like, are they trying to say this is the boy in the photo?
Right.
But like scribbled the duct tape over him to be like, look familiar.
Right, right.
So that was weird. And the same day, another photo was received the same time by a local newspaper, and it was the same photo.
Okay, that's weird.
So they turned it into police, and that same day, a psychic called in and said that she had a vision, and it was that Tara was buried in California, and she mentioned something to do with a blue Oldsmobile, which they never really went further with this, but it's just a strange thing that she called on that day when those
Random.
Yeah. So they looked at this as like, again, they're not getting a photo of the woman or the young woman or the girl in that photo, but they're getting a picture that might be connected to the boy.
Yeah.
They still haven't figured out who this person is.
Oh, that
to this
freaks me
day.
out.
2021, still don't know.
Damn, that's scary.
So October 2013, Tara's case is officially reopened.
Good.
They formed a task force to start really getting into this shit and getting closer to an arrest or a discovery. It consisted of 6 people. They were from Homeland Security,
Wow.
state police, 2 sheriff's departments, and local police. So this task force spoke to former deputy Frank Mathola. He came forward and said he took a statement from a man named Henry Brown, who was a teacher. He took this statement while Brown was dying, like a legit deathbed talk.
Confession?
He had said that back when Tara was missing, he hung out with some bad kids. He was like, I was in a bad crowd.
Okay.
He said one of these kids was Lawrence Romero Jr.,
Okay.
who happened to be the son of the sheriff at the time.
Oh, wild.
The sheriff was Lawrence Romero Sr. Now, Lawrence Romero Jr. was a bad kid. He got into a lot of trouble, but he used daddy's connections to always get out of it. He was dealing drugs. He was in just with a bad crowd, just bad stuff. And he knew Tara and was said by some to have a crush on Tara, who was dating someone else. And he said at one point, so Henry Brown, the guy on the deathbed, he said once he was at a party with this kid, Lawrence Romero. It was in his trailer, which was on his father's property. And he said we were in the basement. It was like this weird makeshift basement in this trailer. And he said, like, we used to party down there. Like, he always had people over there. And he said there was a few other guys there, too. And he said, I think there was like 3 other guys. And he said, all of a sudden, he said he noticed something in the corner that was under a tarp during one of these visits. And he said at one point they were joking about how they had accidentally hit Tara with their truck. And then they abducted, raped, and murdered her.
Oh, no.
It was Lawrence, some guy named Leroy, and another guy named David. They said they initially hid her body in some bushes, and they thought that would be fine. But then when everyone went crazy looking for her and searchers were coming out, they snuck her out of the bushes and held her body in Lawrence's trailer's basement.
Ah.
They then apparently later moved her from there and dumped her in a pond.
Oh, my God.
He said it took so long to come forward like this because, of course, they're like,
excuse me.
why are you waiting till now to say this? And he says, they threatened to kill me if I ever went to police, and I was scared. And he said, like, so I'm telling you now because they can't hurt me anymore.
Right.
Which is like, whoa.
How do you live with that your whole life?
And actually, even though I just told you the story, I did find the actual, like, police report, the interview with Henry Brown that, like, they took down in the official record.
Yeah.
So you can hear exactly how he says it. It says, Mr. Brown said on one occasion they were all there drinking margaritas and making fajitas. He was in the basement with them and he had a weird feeling, so he looked down and noticed in, quote, a grave wrapped up in a blue tarp of what he believed was a small body. He said they started talking about Tara Calico. They were searching for her, and then they began talking about how they raped and killed her.
Oh, my God.
Mr. Brown said he knew the kids because he had worked at the school, and because he was, like, older than them. Mm-hmm. And he knew these kids smoked weed and skipped school. Mr. Brown said one of them used to be her girlfriend, and one of them was jealous. They started talking about another friend that had been with them named Leroy something. They started talking to him about what they had done and also warned him not to talk about it or they would come get him. They then said they were driving one of the guy's older truck that day. They all knew that Jeff was her boyfriend, and Tara had broken up, and they all knew she rode her bike down that highway.
But they hadn't
were wrong.
She was planning to play tennis with him later.
But it's also scary that he's saying they all knew that she rode her bike down that highway because she did every day. So that's like another thing. They said, we know that she does this every day.
Right.
Like, that's really scary. They explained they hit her with the truck and then put her in the back of the truck with Leroy and then took her out to the gravel pits. And this is a trigger warning. Just give you a second. They just mentioned rape. They then took her out to the gravel pits where they sodomized and raped her.
Oh, God.
Lawrence Romero Jr. said, quote, she got ballsy. She stood up and said she was going to make sure they were all going to jail. Lawrence Romero Jr. went and got a knife from the truck, and David Leroy and the tall red-haired guy held her down while Lawrence Romero Jr. stabbed and killed her. He said they drug her body and put her in a bush nearby until they got nervous when the search started for her. So that's what he put on the record.
That is a very detailed account, and
That's
it
what I'm
all
saying.
makes sense.
It does. Now, another acquaintance of these guys came forward, and he corroborated this and said his name was Donald Dutcher, and he said they also confessed this to him.
Okay.
Now, unfortunately, at this point,
Were they dead?
Lawrence was dead.
Fuck that.
For 20 plus years. He
Fuck
had
that.
died by a self-inflicted gunshot wound at 21 years
All
old.
that guilt?
There were rumors that there was a suicide note in which he confessed to the murder, but that it was covered up and not entered into evidence by his father, the sheriff. And his father went to great lengths in a few articles I read to try to get his death changed from a suicide. He did not want it labeled as a suicide. He basically said he died while playing Russian roulette with his friends.
Okay. Sometimes that can be like for religious purposes.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
but still, in this case, when you
With everything else, it's like,
but just to play devil's advocate.
yeah, of course, because you have to look at both sides.
Yeah.
This is a weird case, and there's a lot going on.
Right.
So Sheriff Rene Rivera, the one who's coming forward and being like, I know what happened.
Right.
He was likely keeping the real details covered and wouldn't name these names because they were connected to the former Sheriff Romero, and people think that he has some kind
Connection.
of connection to covering it up.
Okay. What
And
a
that
fucking
he's
asshole
like,
then.
This is like everybody back each other. And so he's saying,
I hate that
I do
shit.
too.
I hate. We are talking about
Lives.
human lives, human beings. Do you have a sister? Do you have
Yeah.
you have a mother? Do you have a daughter?
like anything. Do you know a human being that you actually like in some capacity?
Seriously.
Because this is insane.
Because what if that happened to them? Would you go to great lengths to
that's-
cover their murder up?
And I think it's literally him coming out and saying, I know what happened. I know. And so he looks like like he's doing
Hero.
good police work because he knows what happened. I know the guys who are responsible, but I don't know if behind the scenes he's trying to come up with some way to get this out, but like not get it out. And he's
Right.
just trying to give reassurance. I have no idea, but it's wild.
Like, what's your end game, bro?
Now, basically, the thought by everyone involved in this is that there was definitely a violent abduction and a murder, and that it was covered up by Romero Sr. and Jr., and that Rene Rivera may have potentially been involved in the cover-up as well at a later date.
Sure.
So there's also a very weird thing that came out later, too. All these different reports started leaking out when this task force got involved.
Mm-hmm.
So during the time when that photo, that Polaroid, was found in Port St. Joe, Florida, on June 15th, 1989, witnesses saw an unidentified teenage girl on a beach there. And she was accompanied by several older Caucasian males who appeared to be ordering the girl verbally along the beach.
Uh-huh.
Now, nobody can tell like what is happening with this situation, if this was like staged, if people are misinterpreting it.
Right.
But people thought it was weird, and they thought the girl looked just like the girl in the photo. And they said what she was wearing appeared close to what this girl was wearing in the photo. They were never they're still trying to figure out that girl's identity.
That's very strange.
They haven't found anything. Now, in 2019, the FBI put up a $20,000 reward for any information about Tara's disappearance. They also released an age-progressed photo of Tara. Even now, Michelle, her sister, says, quote, when people ask me, is that her in the photo? If I had to say yes or no definitively, yes, that is her.
Wow, okay.
And she said, I still look at it and it still looks exactly like her. Exactly like her.
I can't imagine having
then
to
she
look
said,
at that.
but it doesn't make sense. And
right,
it doesn't.
because if it was those three guys,
A lot of it doesn't, none of it
doesn't
makes sense.
connect.
But like I said earlier, Michelle really took the lead after her parents' deaths, and she's working tirelessly to find Tara and bring her to justice, bring her some justice, excuse me. So she started working closely with this woman named Melinda Esquibel. She's the host of the podcast Vanished, the Tara Calico investigation. She grew up with Tara.
Oh, wow.
Went to school with her in New Mexico, and they were in marching band together. She said one time when they went on a trip with marching band to Arizona, Melinda was very shy and like kind of reserved. And she said Tara took her under her wing and made sure she was never alone. That's
love
just
that.
who she was. And she said, so this just really struck her. And she said together, Melinda and Michelle have really done their own investigation into this, and they're continuing to. You should listen to the podcast. It gives a lot more like interviews with different people involved with this. But Melinda said that she started it because she went home during a holiday break in 2008. She lives in LA now. And she had some dinner with some old friends. And of course, the case came up, like as it would.
Yeah.
Getting scared is one thing. Getting a thrill is, well, you want more of those in your life. The Genesis GV70 is built to thrill, baby. A thrilling yet elegant design always makes driving the GV70 an exciting adventure. Its powerful athletic stance screams performance and turns heads. Everybody's looking at you, girl, or boy, or whoever. Command the road and experience a class-leading standard 300 horsepower. Oh my God. Plus, discover the different dynamic drive modes for all different terrains. Choose between the different terrain modes for whatever road conditions you may encounter. The Genesis GV70's award-winning technology and performance lets you drive with comfort and drive with confidence all at the same time. It's an exciting SUV with intuitive tech that can make your ride smooth even when the road isn't. And its blind spot cameras allow you to see what's next to you. It's like having eyes on the side of your head. That's pretty iconic. Its performance, by the way, is measured not only in power, but in how it makes you feel confident, sexy. The Genesis GV70. Learn more at genesis.com and feel the GV70. Do you remember in school when you just knew that your teacher had a favorite of everything? They would always use the same blue dry erase marker when they wrote on the board, or they would talk nonstop about their favorite element during science. I had a teacher once that literally had a favorite brand of marker. She would only write with specific markers, and if another marker ended up in her classroom, she was TO'd. And honestly, I was probably her favorite student because at the end of the year, I got her that specific brand of marker. Let's talk about their real favorite thing, though. Their favorite tissue brand. Kleenex. According to Teacher List, they are the #1 facial tissue trusted by teachers. Kleenex Ultra Soft tissues are silky soft to help prevent skin irritation, and now you can take them anywhere with Kleenex Snap and Go. I absolutely love Kleenex Snap and Go. It's so perfect to have that in your car. I had a cold last week and I was just... Honey, my nose was a faucet. I hate to do this to you, but it was disgusting. Drew literally came out of our garage with like 15 of the Kleenex Snap and Goes, and I put those in my glove compartment, and honey, they were easy access. It was so nice knowing that I didn't have to blow my nose into like an old wrapper that I had. Ew. So do the best thing for your kids' teachers and stock up on the ultimate classroom favorite. Maybe it'll make them their teacher's favorite student. They definitely have a favorite. Don't even get me started because, again, you know it was me. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.
And they said, and she was like, yeah, it's just crazy. Like, are we ever going to figure out what happened here? And everyone at the table looked at her because they all lived in the community still. And they were all like, oh, Melinda, everyone knows who did it.
Oh, and it
was the same story. They're
guys.
like, we know who did it. Everybody knows who did it. Like, just nothing's being done about it.
So then if they did it, then that photograph is not her.
Exactly. So it just throws such a whirlwind
wrench
into all this. But Melinda was shook by that reaction. Like, just hearing them all go like,
so,
oh no. Like
casual.
Like, honey, no, we know who did it. Like, that's the real thing. And this is what made her want to start working on this. She started a documentary about it, a podcast. They knew they had to like get this shit cracked, because if everyone knows who did it, but they just can't, like, we just need to make it happen.
Well, in what pond? Can we not like dredge up the pond?
That's the thing. It's like nobody's telling any details
Specifics.
here. So they also made, there's a website called www.taracalico.com, and it's CALICO. It has tons of information on there. It has the podcast stuff. It also has like case files and stuff. And if anybody has any information about the disappearance of Tara Calico, anything, it said you should call the local Albuquerque FBI office at 505-889-1300.
Wow. So that's
And right now, nothing. We still just have this hanging in the wind.
But the whole community really agrees.
It seems like everybody knows what happened. And the Sheriff Rivera, I mean, he came right out and said, we all know what happened. I know what happened. I know who was involved. I'm just not saying
Is the father who previously was the sheriff, is he still alive?
Lawrence Romero Sr., I don't know if he's still alive, actually.
Because I wonder if he is still alive, then when he dies,
I doubt
people
he's still
come
alive. I'm
forward?
going to look it up right now while we're doing this.
Beep boop boop up. Beep boop boop.
He is not alive. He died May 1st, 2017, and we did not get any kind of information.
Right, because I'm like, my thought was that if he kicked it, then people would come forward and say something. But then actually, now that I'm like sitting here pondering, maybe, I mean, to cover something like this up there with multiple parties involved. So maybe some of the parties involved are still alive. And that's why the town doesn't.
Because I think some of the teenage boys involved are probably still alive, the ones that were involved in the whole thing.
Imagine living with that. Like, I hope you rot from the inside out.
Yeah, like that is some
If
serious
you
shit.
did that, I hope you fucking rot from the inside out.
It's to think. I mean, and it becomes this case like unravels very quickly while you're looking into it. Because at first it's a missing persons case.
Sure.
It's one of those that you think is going to be like almost like not like a Bryce Pizza, but like one where you're like, what happened?
But
Like,
it
where
almost
did she
kind of
go?
gave me the same feeling as the Molly Bish case.
Exactly. You're just like, what happened?
Where
Like,
did she
she go? She just vanished. And then when it just opens up, when you involve that Polaroid, when all of a sudden the sheriff comes out and says, I know exactly what happened.
Right.
When a deathbed confession comes out, it's like,
Right.
whoa, now this just turned into an abduction, rape, and murder and cover up?
Like in
What the
2
fuck?
minutes.
Like, where did that come from? So, I mean, I swear, whenever I do these cases, I'm like, well, now I have a life's mission.
Now
and
we
I
have
need
to
figure
solve
out
it.
who this, like, I want to help her family so bad.
Well, and here's the thing. If you somehow did this and you're listening to this for some fucking reason,
Yeah.
who are you to live your life?
Yeah,
When you
exactly.
took someone else's. Who are you to live like a fulfilled life and go about this and have a secret and a skeleton in your closet like that?
Just tell someone.
Who
man.
do you think you are?
Just tell someone. You'll feel better.
Turn yourself in.
You'll feel better. There's human in you somewhere. But it's, yeah.
I don't understand how you can do something like that and then just walk around and think that you fucking deserve to exist.
And I hate that her
free.
mother had to die not knowing what happened.
And just
Her
sitting
father
there.
had to deal with the shit of hearing the sheriff be like, "Oh, we know exactly what happened to your daughter. We know exactly who did it. We're not going to tell you."
He
anything
should be
now."
fired.
Like, that
for
is
doing
so
that.
wrong.
Like, dare I say?
Well, there's a lot of other things that I started looking into his scenario. Mm-hmm. Honey, baby, sweetie pie. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, he should.
There's a
You
lot.
don't do that to a family.
There's a lot
You
going
don't
on
do.
there.
Like, where's the HR? Can I contact
Like,
them?
I'll stay over here in my lane, but like,
I won't.
but there's a lot going on there.
We're about to turn this
Go
off.
ahead.
And you're
Go
gonna tell
ahead
me.
and go ahead and Google him. Okay,
Yeah.
just go ahead. I'm not gonna say anything.
we're
Just
not-
go ahead and
we're not
Google
here to
this.
slander.
There's a lot going on, but it would be great if like he would just tell the truth.
Yeah,
That
maybe
would
do
be
your
awesome.
do your job, sheriff.
Do your job.
Fucking asshole. I'm pissed right now. I'm like
Yeah.
genuinely pissed.
I
right
got
now.
very angry doing this because I just want that family to get. I want that family to get Tara, because the other thing, one of the boys I guess said that they threw the bike in a junkyard.
Oh,
So it's like now,
we're never
how do you
gonna
find
get
that?
that.
Like
It might
that's
be
the thing.
destroyed at this point.
So,
But it's like, what's the pond? Like, if that is the truth, some part of her still exists.
yeah, and the Henry Brown was saying that when he was in that basement, he saw a tarp that looked like it had a person in it.
That's the most terrifying thing ever.
I
And then
just
imagine you
feel
have to
like-
get out of there.
And deathbed confessions, especially when they're about other people, are strange. I don't feel like they're normally faked. It's
No,
usually,
because what's the point?
You're going out of this world. You might as well tell all the shit you can tell. Why are you going to do that?
And usually people are like scared to die. So
Yeah.
a deathbed confession is usually because
Trying
you're
to
scared
clear your
and
conscience.
clearing your
You're not going to
conscience.
lie at the last moment.
Right.
I mean, of course, some people will, but like,
It's just,
I'm
it
saying
doesn't
in
seem
this
like most people
scenario,
would.
that's a lot of it's a lot of detail. 2, it's a lot of names.
And
3,
somebody else came forward and confirmed
somebody
that.
confirmed it and said, I
Me
heard the
too.
same exact thing. They said the same exact thing to me. And it also goes right along with the crime scene. It goes right along with what
It does.
witnesses said they saw the pickup truck. They said it was following her. The skid marks, the shit on the ground. It all makes sense.
Right. It's weird that nobody, I mean, because somebody must have seen them dragging a girl into a pickup truck.
Yes,
It's
that's
just
the
weird that
thing.
nobody came forward and was like, yeah, I saw that.
Unless they pulled up in front of her and just blocked the road and
Right.
nobody could see it.
But even like it was along a highway, so like another lane of traffic.
Yeah.
Like going the opposite way could have seen something. Just strange that nobody saw that whole thing go down.
Yeah, exactly. It's just wild. It's a wild case, and I want it to be figured out.
I also want to erase that Polaroid from my mind, because if that's not Tara, which now I'm hearing everything else, I'm like, that's not her then. And now I'm like, okay, so who the fuck is that?
And that's another thing that's really going to sit on me. I'm like, who are these two kids?
Yeah, these children.
This thing went out to everybody. How is no one coming forward and saying my child is missing? And I think that's them.
And
that's what's weird to me.
Unless that's like...
Unless it was like a joke or like
a joke, or if that's just like another fucked up situation where like that's somebody's own kids.
Yeah.
I guess.
It's very strange.
Yeah, I don't know. I need to go elsewhere in my brain.
I need to wash my brain out.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go watch like My Unorthodox Life or something.
I'm gonna go watch old episodes of America's Next Top Model.
I also just got real Boston. Did you hear that?
What did you say?
I said Unorthodox Life.
Unorthodox Life, Ken.
Why did I just sound so Boston? I never do that.
It happens.
If you're not watching that on Netflix, do so.
I will not.
It's a great... No, bitch, you would love it. But yeah, that's a palate cleanser that we all need.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so we do hope you keep listening.
We do.
And we do also hope that you keep
it
weird. But not so weird that you run around your own fucking town acting like you can do whatever you want and killing and raping people, because that's so fucked up. And not so weird that if your kid does that, you cover it up, because that's also fucked up and that makes you just as bad as an actual murderer. And not so bad that if you're the sheriff, you're like, yeah, I know that I'm the sheriff, but like I can't really tell you things, because your whole entire job is to bring people to justice. And I think you should probably do your fucking job.
That was one of your best yet.
Do you think so?
It was. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
You know that feeling when you come home late from work and those puppy dog eyes just pierce right through your soul? Or when you're packing for a trip and your cat refuses to leave your suitcase? Yeah, we've all been there. Pet parent guilt is real. And you know what? It's completely normal. That's exactly why Hill's Pet Nutrition exists. They understand that being a pet parent means being human, with all of our imperfections and daily juggling acts. Hill's science-led nutrition helps you give more love than humanly possible. Whether it's those long work days or trying to balance attention between multiple pets, Hill's Pet Nutrition gets it. They've created science-based nutrition that supports your pet's lifelong health, so you can feel confident even when life gets hectic. Because you're only human, there's Hill's. Science does more. Ready to let go of the guilt? Find the right food at hillspet.com/podcast. That's hillspet.com/podcast.
Do you remember in school when your teacher had a favorite of everything? A favorite marker, a favorite element, and yes, even a favorite student? Who wasn't me, so let's move on. I want to talk about their real favorite thing, Kleenex tissues. According to teacher lists, Kleenex is the #1 facial tissue trusted by teachers. They're silky soft, help prevent skin irritation. And now, with Kleenex Snap and Go, you can take them anywhere. Stock up on the ultimate classroom favorite. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex.